All right, bet. Welcome back to Black People Like Watching Survivor 2. This is Survivor 49, episode 3. Slight recap, not really talking about how I feel about these players. And we're going to jump right into it. Yes, so previously, Annie and Nicole got destroyed off the Kelly tribe, but we're going to keep it pushing, right? So, what I like to do here, we like to start with Ganjo's pyramid. It's strictly stemmed off of Abby Lee Miller's pyramid, and I like to go through and just explain how everybody, is structured on their tribe, correct? Okay, so we can start, you know, boom. So we got the Uli tribe. As in the first and the second week, Savannah has like stayed in this spot. She deserves it. To be honest, she's running this tribe. Like, it's not too much you could say, in negativity about Savannah. She has her finger on the pulse, and she has allies that are willing to tell her things, aka when Shannon let the dog loose when it came to Sage not trusting Savannah as much as Savannah thought she trusted her. And I just feel like when you're playing a good game, you always will have players that are willing to not sacrifice their games for you, but more so, push you forward in the grand scheme of thinking they're going to benefit from it. So we love that. So then you got MC from the Hina tribe, Hina, whatever. This tribe is so boring, but I actually do like MC. Like, at first it was like they were not showing MC, but I feel like MC being a part of that four and also being like, I really don't need part of this four like that. I think it's really good for her. So hopefully in the future she can get something going with both Sophie, who I previously had in this spot, the first week, and then MC took it over last week, and now she's still here, right? And get with Jason and maybe Christina, but obviously she wants to work with Steven. I just named everybody on the tribe but Matt because I want Matt out of here, and not in a personal way, but in a strategic way, because I do see that they're already peeping that Matt is a little dangerous for them, so that's good. And then the Kelly tribe is so funny. I had to keep Jake here, even though Jake goes home this episode from Evac. I stand 10 toes on the notion that this was his tribe. Like, Jake was never going home. Like, I don't see Sophie, and only Sophie if it's a situation where it's Jeremiah, Sophie, and Jake left. And I can see if they lose. Alex obviously has his idol, so she has no choice but to vote Jake. But I think she damn near has to vote for Alex there anyway. It's just fucking crazy. But Jake was in a great position. Sad days, he got smacked by that snake. His life. I thought he was being a little over dramatic, but like, I guess like I wouldn't be over dramatic if a potentially venomous snake bit me. Dry bite, wet bite, I'm freaking out. So I feel it. And it was pretty crazy getting to see like base camp, truthfully. So on the next level, we have Shannon and Nate for the Uli tribe. Shannon, come get your buddy Shane, okay? You ate that up. Like, you going to Savannah, I feel like has fully solidified your relationship with her. I didn't realize how tiny Savannah was until I saw her walking with Shannon, but then I saw Shannon walk with Sage and they were almost the same height. So I'm like, oh, Shannon must be like 5 foot, right? She must be like D height type situation. But the point is, Savannah and Shannon has a very strong seeming alliance, and Shannon is not good to take her to the end, but like, keeping her on side is very perfect. Nate, I gotta put you here because where else you gonna go? Like, you're firmly cemented within this four, so I like your position in there. They don't give you much storyline, besides the fact that you're a producer. Like, that's all we got so far. Strategically, I don't know what you're actually doing besides being in this tribe, and I praised you previously for this, but I might need you to do a little bit more. Even though you have not been losing, I need you to be at least setting something up on the side with Jawan, and in the hopes or the random chance that you guys end up in a situation together, you want him on side versus not, right? And then on the Henna tribe, we have Sophie and Jason. Hey, listen, they're not showing Sophie, but I like her vibe. And the fact that she was cool enough with MC for MC to tell her that the four of Christina, Steven, Matt, and MC, well, the three of them were more so wanting to get Sophie up. I don't think that was the greatest choice ever to do, but I don't even think Sophie should have been the target. I actually do feel like she's a pretty good player. I would have easily swapped out Matt in there, but And then I have Jason here. Jason finally got a storyline this episode. I don't know what they've been doing with him. Do I feel bad? Yes, but no, because like you're not losing, so I would rather not have a storyline at this point as well. But for your prospects of doing good in the game, it doesn't look great in game. If like even when there's a disaster tribe, we're still not seeing you, and we basically only start seeing you the third episode, and it was only to get your tribe to find a fucking idol. Come on, bro. Like I get it. Like I'm on the same type of time you on. Let somebody find that idol so you're not asked out if you ever do merge or swap and you're in a minority, right? You want to have some kind of ammo, right? But you need to be doing a little bit more because you're teetering at the bottom right now, and any fail swoop wave can just swoosh your ass up out of here, and I don't want that to happen. I kind of like you, Jason. Okay, so then we got the Kelly tribe. Like I said before, I had to put Jake above both of these two. Granted, these are the two people who survived, but I do feel like Sophie and Alex are in a very peculiar situation. There is no way Sophie should have let Alex use the idol. I'm sorry. Like it made no sense for Sophie not to vote out Jeremiah there. So I'm happy she did. But one thing that I feel like she should have tried to do was make sure Alex kept that idol. It is a little dangerous when somebody has an idol in the game, but when that's the only person you've been playing with, I think that danger is mitigated as long as the other people don't know he has an idol. And the only people who can tell them he has an idol is you and him. And I doubt he's going out there wanting to spread the gospel. Yes, I have an idol. So I think that was like one issue I looked at Sophie. That's why I couldn't put her above Jake, right? But then again, I also look at Alex, where it's just like you had to play the idol, but I feel like your social standing should have been a little bit better in the sense that you did not have to play that idol. Like Jeremiah should have been gone regardless. Like the two number ones of Jake were you, Alex, and I know you peeped how Sophie was running around that idol. And I know she's not subtle with what she's doing because we see it too much, I feel. And it's not like the show is telegraphing how she's playing, it's more so the actions that she's making that I know you could be like, oh yeah, she thinks she locked in with Jake. So if she thinks she's locked in with Jake, then she also should think that she's locked in with you. That's just my opinion. You can take it how you want to take it, but I'm just mad that Sophie didn't let Alex feel comfortable enough to stay that idol because I really think they needed that idol. And we're going to find out later, what's going on, but I really feel like they should have kept that idol some way. But you gotta do what you gotta do when only 3 people on a tribe, and then your number one technically just went home. So your second number one is here, but like the other guy that was with your number one has idol. You have to really do some mental gymnastics. And I'm not blaming Alex for playing that idol because I personally would have played it too, just off the sketchiness of what was going on. But I wish they would have been able to orchestrate a plan better together to be like, okay, we're going to keep this idol of what Jeremiah. You know where the idol at. So it doesn't matter if Jeremiah doesn't have an idol. Either get Jeremiah to throw a shot in the dark or something, or just do something above that along those lines. Especially if Sophie's going to vote out Jeremiah anyway. It's like, girl, please. That's how I look at it. Okay, then you got Rizzo, Jawan, and Sage on the Uli tribe. Rizzo is basically pseudo with Shannon and Nate. Actually, I'll put Rizzo in right next. They are right next to each other. Shannon is a little bit in front of them, but they're all in the same boat. So like Rizzo, shout out to you. Listen, I'm down with you for coming back for 50, Rizzo, but this in game has to be magical, bro. Like I'm looking at this, like why they bring you back? And I'm not saying they brought you back just because you're a regular ass white man, but it's giving me like Savannah controls the game and you happen to win. That just has to be the goal here because I'm not understanding why you were so important to get brought back. And I'm no shade, bro. Like I'm looking at you and like I got the Cerizzo watch, bro. I fuck with both of y'all, but if I'm looking at it in the terms of people who needed to come back for 50 or needed to play again, I'm not seeing it. Savannah, maybe. Like it's the issue of them not going to tribal. That's the biggest problem. But like hopefully within this next episode, we get like kind of the breakout of Rizzo, and hopefully he's able to show why they're about to bring him back, right? Jawan, you can only do so much when everybody's so locked in. And like, I guess you made a social faux pas for not like deciding who you wanted to add to the alliance. So and then not being able to make fire, Savannah, I'm looking at you a little like, but also get it together, Juwan. You're doing better than Sage. Sage told the wrong person the wrong shit. So like, yes, like you're in a peculiar position. Sage is in a worse position than you. Okay, she's literally Savannah has her sights set on her, and I don't know if Sage will see it coming and or understands that saying that to Shannon was just like not the move. And I don't even think it was that deep. Like what she said was just like, I see her getting close to Rizzo. I don't even think that's a bad thing, but how Shannon framed it and how she took it to Savannah, I think Shannon knows that Savannah is a little reactionary, and sometimes you have to be reactionary in the game, but you can't always be letting somebody feed you information just for you to go a certain way. It's like strategic downfall, right? So if Shannon is playing that shit right with Savannah, then Shannon might end up sliding through there. But we gonna see kind of what happens with this tribe. But Sage, girl, get it together. Okay, please. Like just a little bit. Like I think I'm not trying to have you and Jawan being J Maya and Sifu. And the more we get through this season, the more I'm seeing a semblance of that. And it's just giving Reba 4 all over again. You feel me? So in the Hina tribe, Hina, whatever you want to call them. See, you know what's crazy? I don't even really know how to pronounce some of these names because it don't matter. I ain't gonna hold you up. They just the red, yellow, and blue to me. But also I look at it like, okay, what are y'all doing in the game? And we're not seeing enough from either of these tribes because Kelly's so ass or was so bad. But I'm gonna get back to like when I talk about the Kelly tribe, I'm gonna get back to how the fans are actually not pissing me off per se, but making me a little irritated. Like you guys are being so dense here, and y'all need to figure it out. Christina, you lost me here. Okay, you lost me in this episode only at that challenge because yeah, I get the ambience, and Jeff is going to call you out and like have you like, you know, showcase what the mood is and like explain how you're feeling and how people around you are feeling. But when we look at the grand scheme of everything, I'm going to be happy if I won immunity. I'm in that bitch going crazy. Okay, I'm like, let's go. I'm like, I'm safe. You feel me? I'm supposed to feel bad for a team that sucks. Yeah, people get medevaced all the time. I'm sorry. Like it's sad that their biggest guy got medevaced, but I don't care. I really don't, because this is the same group of people who's gotten basically to the end of the challenge first multiple times and or close to first and has flopped at the puzzle. And it's like, bro, you wait. This is the same thing I feel about fire, right? You wait years. Sometimes, sometimes people wait weird years. Sometimes people are recruits, whatever. You wait an extensive amount of time to get on Survivor. You go through this rigorous process of getting on Survivor. I know it ain't easy. You feel me? You go through this, you get on, right? But you know you're about to get on. You don't practice a puzzle once. Like nobody on the Kelly tribe practice a puzzle. That's crazy. We're gonna come back to that because I'm not even done with the Hina tribe. See, they be making me mad, and I just kind of crashed out for no reason. But we're gonna go to Matt, right? So Matt, I still put him in front of Steven. I probably should have swapped him because Steven seems like he has a stronger relationship with MC, and they at the Henna Trap seems like they're peeping Matt's game, but he's still here. Yeah, they haven't lost yet, but he's still here. And who are people going to be more freaked out about from the other team? I think they're going to be more sketched out about Steven than Matt, unfortunately, because to be honest, I think they're going to see that Matt is going to be the downfall of the Henna Tribe, right? But Matt and Steven are basically interchangeable here. They there at the bottom, right? And we got Jeremiah. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. And your game. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Not that they voted you out, but how you were playing. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. And I'm looking at it like, okay, we have to get over this hump. If you cannot be scared to be in a disaster tribe because there's a likelihood that there's going to be one, you just need to make sure that you're at the final two of that disaster tribe, and then you're golden. Like, I don't get why people don't prioritize relationships more so than winning, because the Kelly tribe prioritized strength, lost the very next challenge after they voted on Nicole, because she also sucked, but she could have been a very loyal ally. She could have been a very good player, but she just sucked at the challenges. It's fine. And then you get rid of Annie, and then you lose your strongest guy anyway. And then now you have to pull somebody else out regardless. And I never felt like the strength was ever an issue specifically with Kelly Tribe. I think they had enough guys that could hold their weight. I just think they didn't have enough people that could do puzzles. Like, I don't know who's on the Red Tribe doing puzzles. I know it ain't Rizzo because he said he hate puzzles and he don't know how to do them. But I know on the Hinder Tribe they got Jason, and Jason whipped that up easy. Yeah, Jason's gonna get targeted for being one of maybe 2 or 3 people who can do puzzles. But I'm looking at it like, bro, so there was no puzzle maker on the blue team, and like people are getting mad at the fact that it's 3 tribes or 6. That's not the issue. People are getting mad that challenges are repeating. That's not the issue. A lot of these challenges have been repeated over the years. Like if you're watching Survivor for the challenges, you need to kick rocks because that's not what that is, bro. You can go watch the challenge for that, bro. It used first of all, it used to be a reward challenge and an immunity challenge. We don't get that no more. We might get that from randomly time to time, but you're not getting that. So I really think it's the fact that they cannot do a puzzle. Simple as that. Like you yourself have established I cannot do puzzles, so you're gonna lose because this is just what this game is. It's half strength, half puzzle. You feel me? Like with the challenges, there's really not too many social or strategic challenges left, besides like like the strategic challenge of I don't know the thing where they put the balls in and then it goes and it like flips back and forth. That's kind of strategy. Whatever. They can still have that, but you're going to have a puzzle. Point is, Jeremiah, I don't feel bad for you. I felt like you could have did a little bit more. You were worried about Sophie being your number one. You should have established a relationship with Alex. You were always I don't want to be mean here, but like Jeremiah was gonna go home if they lost the challenge and Jake was still here. Like there was at least 2 votes on Jeremiah regardless, and Alex and Jake have the idol, and Jake and Sophie wouldn't have went to Rocks. I'm just being real here. Like Alex was not going to do anything detrimental enough for his relationship with Jake. So this is my time where it's like, bro, you should have forced an issue the first tribal. I don't know, see what Annie was gonna do, but then Annie was so sketchy. So I'm not blaming you entirely. I'm just blaming you a little bit for your own game. Okay. But sad days for Jeremiah, right? He tried, I guess. Okay. So now we have the Ganjo Lee Miller pyramid, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Abby Lee Miller influence. We got Rizzo watch. Last time I gave the crown to Savannah. This is her second crown that I gave out to her versus Rizzo. And it's really because the edit is Homer Rizzo. Because I can like see what Savannah is doing versus I just know Rizzo is there working with her, right? So this is what my previous route was last week, right? So now we go on. Shannon got to be number one. She got to stay number one. Like, listen, Shannon is playing this game correctly. If you are supposed to be an ally or a number 2 to like what I look at is probably the biggest threat in the game is Savannah, you give her information, you feed her stuff, you push her into specific directions. Like Savannah holds a lot of the power, but you hold a lot of choices, whereas you can guide her to going where you need to go. And I think that's what she guided her towards taking out Sage versus taking out Juwan, because I think Shannon understands that Juwan's already on the bottom. It's more so getting rid of Sage. But then again, if I can clock my own team, Shannon, if Sage trusts you this much to tell her this, that was a little weird to tell Savannah. So like, you lucky nobody's playing a better game than you, because I would have pushed you a little bit down a little bit, because I do appreciate that you telling Savannah what's going on in the game as your number one. That's what it seems like. But I also feel like you try to soft launch it to her, not as Sage is targeting you, but just wondering why she was like, you were so close with Rizzo. And I think that opened the gates up for Savannah to crash out on Sage. T, like that's just really what it is. So I think you lucky people kind of suck in this season, but you're gonna go number one because I like what you're doing socially, strategically. I like what the type of moves you're making. You're making moves, right? You feel me? Even though you're not going to tribal, you're painting targets, and I think that's what you're supposed to be doing. Correct? We got MC telling Sophie last week. MC kind of trying to rope in Steven. I like that. You feel me? I like what she's doing there. So keep up that good work. We don't get enough from the Hannah tribe, but we're gonna keep pushing. We got Sophie. Sophie, like I wanted to give you a little lashes earlier, but like like you figured it out. Like you voted for Jeremiah, which you should have did. Like I personally think Jeremiah should have been voted for you. Nobody should. There should have been no votes for Alex. And it's sad that I have to say that because yes, you potentially can get him out if he doesn't play his idol, but in that situation, Alex should have kept that idol, right? But you made the proper move of voting out Jeremiah. Jeremiah did not make the proper move of voting you out, which he should have done. It should have been Jeremiah versus Sophie. Like no matter what, it should have been let's trick Alex not using his idol. Jeremiah, I think Sophie always knew that wasn't gonna happen, and Jeremiah was just a little confused. So I will always give her the cool points on that. We love that. So then you got Nate. You got Nate chilling, being here. We're not seeing enough from the Uli trial for me to really like take him down or push him up, but I do like his positioning, and I feel like he's in a very fairly good spot. So then you got Alex. I'm sad you had to burn that idol, but I'm proud for you playing it. Okay, like if you didn't play it, I would have been like, you have balls of steel, and sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes they could just be aluminum, okay? They don't gotta be full hardcore steel. They could just be like somewhat like silver. They could look like they're strong, but they don't gotta be that strong, right? But I need you to hone in with this potential swap coming up. You need to figure this out because you don't have protection and you are a strong guy. But the good thing about both Sophie and Alex, they're in a position where the other team got to go to war. Okay. Y'all crying about these 3 tribes so much, you finally getting 2. Okay. You're finally getting 2, and you're finally getting to see when 2 tribes of even numbers get to the merge, you're waiting on somebody to flip. That's the drama. And then once that flip happens, they usually demolish the other team. So you guys are praying and begging for 2 tribes. You're finally getting it. Okay. You're getting it on a platter. Okay. Now, when you get the shitty end of the stick when it comes to Pagongings, that's why 3 tribe seasons were created. Yes, I understand the beef of it only being so many places you can go. But if we rewind back to the first Brain versus Brown versus Beauty, Cagayan, that Brain tribe voted out 2 men back to back and kept one of the worst challenge people ever. And then J'Tia goes home, but they swap. Okay, they swap. That's why it makes sense. You get 3 tribals. You don't want any tribe to go under 3. And I think 3 tribals is enough. And or you pull what season 41 did. They didn't swap, but they did do a double elimination the first vote. So the tribe that Xander and them they had a little bit of chances to not get destroyed, right? Unfortunately, Shan and Ricardo tribe with JD, and that's Brad, Sarah, and then somebody else was on that tribe. Oh, and then Janine, or Jeannie, whatever. They got destroyed, but it's fine. Like they even got the 2, but one tribe had 4, one tribe had 2, one tribe had 6. So like it was still kind of skewed, but like it felt a little bit better that it wasn't one team that was just getting fully destroyed, right? But swaps matter, bro. That's all I gotta say. Swaps matter. Swaps can help. Swap can break up the monotony of things, can take somebody who's in the majority and put them in the minority. But also, we're praying for swaps, but some of our favorites have been swap screwed. So imagine getting pushed on a tribe when you're the only one left, and then you lose a challenge, then you're out. You were controlling one tribe, but since you got swapped, you got destroyed. Just because your team didn't lose. Right. But shout out to Alex. You still here. We love that. We got Sophie. Not they back to back. Top and bottom. Let's get it. Okay, Sophie. I think this up for the E. We don't get enough of you, but I like the game you playing. T. Okay. Jason. Same. We don't get enough of you. It's kind of weird that you got a confessional, or when you came back to the screen, it was about everybody finding an idol. Shout out to MC for finding it, but we love this. Okay. keep trying, I guess. Like, I don't know what to tell you. When these people are getting under edited, it's hard to even not care about these people or these contestants, but it's like, bro, like, what am I supposed to say? Like, you're there. Like, we haven't got to see anything. But shout out to you, Jason. Then you got Christina. Um, yeah, I did feel like that was the little challenge thing was a little weird. Getting mad at the other tribe for punishing you and then feeling bad about the team that kind of got back and then they sucked at the challenge. Like, I'm in here going crazy. And she wasn't the only one. Everybody is getting this vitriol, right? But Christina got the question by Jeff. And I'm looking at it like, I don't feel bad. Why should I feel bad? Because y'all suck at challenges. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm never going to feel bad about voting somebody out. Sorry, bestie. Like, what did we come here to do? Like, what did we come here to do? We came here to win a game. How do you win a game? You vote people out. Who needs to get voted out? Everybody but you. So how do you feel like you're honorary and you deserve, or you're happy that you won in the end, but you had to vote people out? Get it together, right? Like I said, this is a comment to everybody, and not just Christina, but she just is the face of it right now. Juwan, I need you to do better, bestie, please. Like, I just need you to. What I need Juwan to do is either to, which he's not gonna do. He needed to like take out Rizzo and take his place in that alliance, and or just jump ship like to the other team. Like, stop working with them. Unless you take one of these people out and replace them, it's not gonna work. Get over it, get rid of them, and then swap. You should be turning on your red team because they're probably gonna turn on you and Sage. Like, T. Like, please jump ship. You should be working with the Blues, and that's a 4-person alliance right there. Yeah, they have less incentive to work with you, but it's still fine. Now we got Steven. I had to replace him for Matt. Okay, finally, I gave Steven a little bit more. I was like, okay, I'll give you this. Your relationship with MC seems to matter more than MC's relationship with Matt. So I do understand and appreciate that you've gone to a different spot. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. But yeah, it's like slim pickings, bro. It's like they're going to target you, Steven. You're not even gonna do much to get targeted, but it's life. It's gonna happen. Now we got the Rizzo watch. Okay, we have got Savannah and Rizzo, and I'm watching them every week to see who's a bigger star, who has a better chance to win, who I feel like is gonna do better on 50. And spoiler alert, Savannah wins again. It's just Savannah's relationship with Shannon is like solid, and I don't know if Nate is as close to Rizzo as Shannon is to Savannah. And I do feel like obviously everybody is probably leaking information to a certain point, but we're getting shown that Shannon is specifically going to tell Savannah about the conversation she's having with Sade against Shannon's best interest. Okay, like I said before, I do have Shannon up there because she is playing very well. That is like a minor mistake, especially when it's somebody who actually wants to work with you. Is kind of like, you really gonna do that? Like, but she's doing what she needs to do, and I fuck with it. But Rizzo, you're doing the best you can. Like it's not like you're doing anything wrong. It's more so just the show just not showing you. But I'm not seeing the Riz God. I'm seeing you being a good player, but I'm not seeing Riz God. Like I said, you got to do something very beautiful in it, like in the end game or throughout the game, for me to be like, okay, you go crazy. Like, and I actually feel like Rizzo is a great character. They're just not utilizing him as best as they can, and maybe you are forcing them to utilize you better in the end game. Okay. So then we got Jake, who got medevaced, and then we got Jeremiah. We can go back to them. Sad days that they both from blue team. We got Matt and Sage. Matt, I think they starting to get sus on you, bro. I was always sus, but they're starting to peep game. They're starting to realize you may not be for the Henna Trap. You may not be all for them. And like, you probably think you are, but I think you're more dangerous for them than not. And shout out to MC for like clocking. Okay. Like, if anything, I would think you'd be the next person out, but we are on a different standpoint. We're going down from 3 people, next person out, to 2, right? And these are 2 people from the opposite tribes that are still going to be tribes, like, right? So the blue team is going to be dismantled, and it's probably going to be yellow and red, okay? So Matt and Sage, out of those two original tribes, I could see them going home next, right? It's gonna be a little different once we swap up and then people end up on the same beaches. But at this point, with 14 people left, Matt is giving pre-merge. And then Steven is giving early merge boo. Like, let Matt get to the merge is stupid. Like, and he's not even gonna do nothing. I'm saying all of this, and Matt is not even like a threat. Okay, like I don't even think Matt would be able to beat. Could he beat anybody on his team? He could potentially beat Christina and Jason. And I'm just like looking at the board. Actually, T. No, he probably beat Jason too. I mean, Steven. Like, I'm looking at Steven. I don't think he's beating MC or Sophie. Like, I think those two people, yes, we're not seeing them, but I think they have too much game savviness for him to be able to, like, you know, put a dent into their games versus his own. And Sage, I really just, I feel for her. I feel bad because she trusted Shannon. And she came to Shannon like, hey, that girl Savannah, she doing a little lot over there. And you should be able to say these kind of things without it getting back to the person that you're saying it to. But read the room better, Sage. Like, you shouldn't be, that kind of information has to be said, but you need to be like valid. And the fact that Shannon, Nate, Savannah, and Rizzo are all in an alliance is like, girl, like, you missed the part that she was getting close to Shannon. Like, please. Okay, we got Jake. Sad days for that man evac. I was looking at them like, he should be fine. Like, I don't know how much that bite could do. I know that bitch hurt like hell, bro. I know like something piercing your skin. Those teeth are probably not that long, but they're probably wide. And I know that shit probably hurt so bad. And I know his adrenaline was running early, but kicking off the game after they found out it really wasn't a venomous bite, it's like Missy got to be in there with a messed up leg. You feel me? Like, she was hobbling around everywhere. Like, please be serious. They could have gave him like wrapped his little foot up. He could have came to the challenge with a little cast on and said he can't compete. But then it's like unfair if he can't compete. But that's also an issue when you do a lot of water challenges where it's like people get injured. What do you expect them to do? But whatever. So we got Jeremiah. I feel bad for I don't. I gotta stop saying I feel bad for people when I really don't. Jeremiah, you did this to yourself. Survivor kind of destroyed you by putting you on that tribe. Everybody talking about the gay man. Don't be a gay man at the final 15. I mean, you would have went home at the final 16 if Jake didn't get eliminated. So, you know, count your blessings. You got an extra spot. T, like, I just don't see it. Like, I don't think you did enough early in the game. I'm talking strictly gameplay. Like, you are probably the greatest person ever. Actually, I think we would get along. I think you're very funny, right? But gameplay wise, I'm looking at you very sus because you voted out Nicole, knowing Nicole wanted to work with you. I don't know what pool you could have had with Sophie, maybe Annie, but Annie would have potentially voted out Alex. Alex should have been it. You free up Jake, the same person that you guys were juggling at the balls. You free him up. Y'all all was sharing. See, let me not say that because then I'm gonna get I gonna get mad. But everybody was up his ass. Like every single one of them. Alex, Sophie, Jeremiah was up Jake's ass. Like they all took a piece of ball here and it was like, we hanging on for dear life. Right at his balls. Because normally you'd be like, he had them by their balls, but like, no, they was like having fun on this bitch, just hanging off that bitch. But because it was just like Jake could do no wrong, right? Like, there is no way like Jake is like letting y'all do all of this. And that's why I kept putting him at the top, especially at the top of the pyramid when he was eliminated, because it's just like, listen, if Jake wouldn't have got medevaced, y'all would have rolled to the wheels fall off with this man. And granted, the other team would have took him out, which I feel like that's a good strategy. But like when you're pushing the scope on the three of you guys or the two, let's say it's Alex, Sophie, and Jake left, right? If they think, you know, Alex or Jake has an idol, Sophie goes home. Or just, it's like a lot of like, if we want to keep Jake in as a target, they're voting out Alex. They're voting out Sophie. They're voting out people around Alex. Like, you can't let him do that. And I think that first vote for Jeremiah, he should have tried a little bit more to set himself up because, like I mentioned earlier, even with their biggest guy left in the game, they kept losing. They lost twice. And then when he left, they lost again. Like they were never going to win because they sucked at puzzles. And that's just it. Well, sad days for Jeremiah. He gone now. So that was Survivor 49 episode 3. They're going to swap next week. I'm excited to see what they do and who ends up on either tribe. This season has been fine. They give us as much as they can. Like I think the producers, if y'all gonna be doing this, like, and this is not a bad thing on y'all part, right? But the decision to like stay in Fiji, the decision to like rinse and repeat. I'm not saying y'all. I think y'all losing people, but like you guys Survivor gained a lot of fans during COVID, and to have the COVID people not even like the new era and they go back to go watch better seasons because the themed seasons, the seasons where they changed locations, made people feel better about the show. They liked the show better. They felt like intense gameplay was actually happening versus now. Please. Y'all got to do a little bit better. Like 50 should be a hard reset. Okay. Like let it be a reset and let the game flow, bro. Stop stifling the game. No more beware advantages. Kill that shit, bro. Throw idols in there. I don't understand. Like, yes, people were hoarding idols, but they hoard them even worse now because they gotta go through 10,000 steps to get it. But also, hidden immunity idols used to be in the name. Okay, we lost the plot. Okay, we start calling them idols. I think that's the issue. We start calling hidden immunity idols, and we officially lost the plot because once you start doing that, then they're not hidden anymore. You want other people to know that they have these idols, and these same people are still not playing them, right? Like we had a lot of missed idol uses early. And then we had an era where they was not missing. Okay, they were hitting. Okay, the late teens, them bitches was hitting. Them like those idols hits. Oh, they was going crazy. But within the last couple of years, I ain't trying to throw in Australia Survivor, but like they plant so many idols. Yeah, you got 12 people on a tribe, so you need multiple idols on one tribe, which I'm down with. But like these players also play them, like they play these idols. Like it's like Australian Survivor is not a better show. It's just not. Like I'm being real here. They just don't edit people they don't care about. So that's the difference. But the main takeaway point that I will always vouch for Australian Survivor, they're not as gimmicky yet, and then they still got regular idols. There's no way Survivor is using these beware advantages as a way to say, oh, it's a beware advantage. It's an idol with 10,000 extra steps that you should be able to do on your own. If you get caught, you get caught. But like you should be able to do it on your own. And it should not be like, hey, you guys, I have this ball and chain. I have this idol clue. I'm going to go find the idol. Woohoo. It should never be, you got to wait till you lose a challenge to get an idol. Otherwise, you don't have a vote. That's stupid. Like, I don't know what, we lost the plot, bro. The plot is lost, bro. We're in hell. And like, I really feel like that's why we get seasons like this. Like, the whole Kelly tribe knew Alex had the idol, which made Alex have to play the idol when there were 3 people left because they all knew he had the idol. Yeah, he didn't have to use it in the grand scheme of everything, but he down there had to do it. But these players need to play these idols. Once you get the beware advantage, if you're in a crazy spot, use it. But then again, you got people like from season 46 where they all kept going home with, they all found out idol kept going home without playing the idols. And then the beware advantage wasn't even a part of that. They still wasn't playing them. But I just think it's a threat of not being able to find it again, which I would never care about. Listen, playing the idol correctly gotta feel like the second best thing to winning. Okay, in a game of Survivor, that euphoric moment has to be like crazy. Like playing an idol correctly and getting out a target that you really wanted out and changing the game. You feel me? Reshuffling a deck. You feel me? Putting other people in positions of power that were struggling, grasping for chances. Come on, bro. Get it together. But thank you for watching. Black people like watching Survivor 2. Let's get it. Episode 3. Hopefully with this swap, we get something better. I'm excited. But this season has just been a season. That's just all it is. It's just a wash, rinse, and repeat of all the other New Era seasons, bro. Like, please give us something beautiful, okay? But Jeff promised it's gonna be a cute end game, so I guess we gotta listen to Jeff.